My name is Anders Nystrom, sometimes also called Blackheim or Blackheim. I come from Stockholm, Sweden, and I play guitar for Katatonia and Bloodbath. I use Rotosound custom gauges for 6-string electric guitar. And since my default tuning is C standard, I use 58, 44, 32, 18, 15 and 11. I also use the coated Nexus strings on my acoustic guitars. The first time I ever picked up a string instrument was back in 1986 when I was 11 years old. It was this little Russian 3-string instrument called balalaika that I was playing at the time in a school orchestra. However, I was obsessed, like everyone else, with heavy metal at this time, so this instrument didn't really cut it for me. Obviously I needed to go electric and 6-string. So the next year, my father heard my prayers and gave me my first guitar, which was a lovely Japanese Les Paul clone called Fresher. It had this tobacco sunburned finish, and it actually still hangs here on a wall back home as a memory of the formative years. And together with this guitar I also got this little 20-watt amp called Gorilla. And I remember it had this little sticker on it that said it will knock your socks off, which it didn't do. It had no distortion, and I remember I pretty much stayed on the same first 3 strings for a long time, just twiddling heavy metal riffs, the Russian balalaika style I knew. There were and are plenty, probably will be as well. Back at the age of 12, I remember it was all about Glenn Tipton and Kiki Downing from Judas Priest and their dual harmony leads. I also love the leads from Wolf Hoffman of Accept. I always loved what Hetfield did back in time with Metallica. I love Whitesnake. Huge fan of John Sykes, his delivery and vibrato. Adrian Vandenberg too, of course. But I also have to mention Greg McIntosh from Paradise Lost, because his unique style really rubbed off on me big time in Katatonia. Probably that you get to see a bunch of other bands playing that would probably not have come to your own town too often. Also hang out with old friends, see familiar faces, maybe bump into one of your idols. Festivals, are always stressy and sometimes even chaotic when it comes to the setting up and playing part for yourself. There's no sound checks and the changeovers are tight and strict as hell, but the atmosphere are always good at festivals. There's a good vibe, it's both relaxed and exciting, and it gets to bring out the fan within you. That depends a little what the goal is. Getting a record deal doesn't automatically mean making it these days. So if your aspiration is just making music for your own needs and your own satisfaction, or I just have a good time with like-minded friends, it's fairly easy these days to get away with it on a do-it-yourself approach. The technology is there, but what is not there and what certainly cannot be bought with your own money is persistency, because nothing will happen overnight. There's ambition, everything is made out of dreams, so do set up goals and side goals. There's motivation. Some days will suck, and there's tons of obstacles on the way that would like to end your journey. Maybe most of all, talent. Maybe it's in your blood. Maybe your grandfather was a kick-ass artist. who knows? And of course we cannot forget luck, the powers that be. So keep rehearsing, keep jamming, keep recording, experiment with everything. Don't be afraid to think outside the box to improve. And most of all, learn how the business works and what everyone's roles are in the machinery of the music industry. The last thing you want to happen is to realize you lost control over your work, both creatively and financially. That's a typical aspiring musician's first trap. So anyways, Rotosound, happy 50th anniversary. And everyone else, keep on keeping on.